Hey there, this is Coach Troy, and today I want to talk about pacing. This past week we had our annual training camp here in Tucson, Arizona, and we did a time trial one day. And several of our athletes use power meters on the bike, and that's really a great way to measure your performance because it measures your output at that very moment. And with the heart rate monitor, there's a little bit of a lag, so using power on the bike is definitely a more accurate way to measure your performance. Well, one of our athletes, who's a really good age group athlete in our time trial, and it's roughly a 6 mile or so time trial, they went out way too hard, power well above their threshold. And so what happens when you do that is you basically are setting yourself up for a poor performance. Because once you start out too fast and your heart rate's too high, your output's too high, you're creating too much lactic acid, you're really going to set yourself up for failure because what happens is your pace is going to decline. The better strategy is always to go out at a pace that you can sustain. Maybe a little bit above threshold, but not that much above threshold that you're in such a deficit that your body needs to recover. Because once you need to recover, you'll never get it back 100%. Now, the highly conditioned athlete can bounce back, but they really have to slow down a lot before they can bounce back and before they clear all the lactic acid and start being able to exercise at a high level again. So the key is to start out at the right pace, right from the gun, and then gradually build. Now again, most people will start off a little bit high and then they'll see a dip and then they'll start building, but that's an okay strategy. Just don't start out so high that your dip is so tremendous that you can't dig back out of that hole. So I did a half marathon this weekend, the Oro Valley Distance Classic, and the same thing applied. Fortunately, I was able to pace it properly, and I went out at around the pace that I thought I could run, which was about a 6 minute per mile pace. Well, I went out a little bit faster, which is, again, to be predicted. You know, you're going to go out a little bit faster, you get caught up with the crowd. And I went out at about a 5:50 pace for the first mile. I was thinking, okay, well, this might be a little bit too aggressive, so backed it off a little bit, and I ended up running a 6:04 pace. Now, it was hard to hold on to that at the very end because of muscular fatigue and soreness, but still, that pace was pretty manageable, and I stayed within that general range of my threshold throughout the entire 13 miles. So if you start out at the right pace, you're going to have a lot better chance of finishing strong. Keep that in mind. So that's our endurance tip today. Until next time, train safe and train smart.